So when I see a job description, I start working on something. Now this hasn't happened at Sudeth because, again, highly collaborative and we align. But in the past, I get these job descriptions, again, trying to educate the client. If I see a candidate that matches 80 to 85% of that on that job description, I think they're a good candidate for my experience level of these 20 plus years of doing this. I will fight for that candidate, put them in front of the customer, and the customer and I will have a good conversation about it. He's missing X or she's missing X, Todd. I understand, but she's got a very close cousin to X, right? Yeah. She's got a different CRM system that she's implemented in the past, and they're not too far away from each other. So that the job description bloat is real, and it's frustrating.
What percentage do you think someone should apply if they're a match for this job description?
I would say 85%.
That's 85, what I was thinking.
That's sort of my 80, 85, but I'd go 85. Yeah.
I was just answering that today in Coach's Corner for the job seekers. I have this mastermind where I teach job seekers different strategies on how to get back to work, and that was a question that came out. And he was like, what if I want to go for this job that basically I know is not for me? I said, well, if you know it's not for you, don't apply. Like, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like an 85%, you don't have to be 100%.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. But another key thing to that is if you're 85%, you need to find the hiring manager in that company.
Yeah.
Don't ATS this. Figure it out through your network or your friend's network or your friend's friend's network. Get that person's direct contact info, the hiring manager, the decision maker, and be able to reach out to that person and just introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Todd. I'm interested in, code launch, and here are my skills. I know I'm not a direct fit. However, here's where my previous experience makes up for that.
Right. Here's the alignment.
Yeah. So it's more than just, applying to it. You got to do the research behind it, right? I think that's very important for candidates to understand.
Well, and in this day and age, with the process being the way it is, that's really one of the only ways you're going to get in. Because at the end of the day, there's not really any candidate that checks almost every box. Like, you're not at 99%.
Correct.
You're just never going to find that person. So
no.
You got to go with a more natural, organic way to do it. And especially with the applicant tracking systems these days, designed to weed people out. That's really
it's so funny. I've been mentioning ATS, and I've implemented several, so I'm like conflicted.
Yeah. It's like a blessing and a curse, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, blessing and a curse.
Look, the perfect resume is the one that gets seen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we need to get it looked at, and that's the other thing too. Is I see these job seekers, they'll go crazy redoing their resume over and over and over and over, chat GPT in it, doing all these things. We're trying to game the system to try to get a human to look at it. And I'm like, look, you should just understand that if you go in the black hole, that's just part of it. And that doesn't mean that you can't still get the job.
Well, it doesn't mean your resume is not up to speed either, right?
Right.
So my thought on resume is you should have a resume that sort of captures your whole experience. Now, you're not going to submit a 7-8 pager to someone, hopefully.
No. Yeah.
But
you have like a master resume.
You have a master resume,
a
template. Then you take that for which job you're applying to.
Yep.
And then you pull your experiences from that master resume into that.
Yep.
And then you find that hiring manager, hopefully, and write to them.
Yes.
I feel for these job seekers though,
it's
because
tough.
Oh my gosh, what a process!
We've all done it.
Saying? What a process.
What would catch your eye? Let's say you're in the process. You're looking at candidates. You got a few narrowed down. What's going to stick out to you? Who's the candidate that's going to make an impact and stick out to you? Is there something that people are doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. There are things out there that I'll look at now, but a lot of it, again, remember, is dependent on what my client's looking for too.
Sure.
Right. So, specific keywords, skills, and interests. I think resume setup has something to do with it. Like, I'd like to see a nice objective summary, what I want to be when I grow up type deal in the top. Then I like to see sort of like skills listed, then experience, and then education at the bottom. Unless you're an early career job seeker, I like to put it at the top because, they may not have a lot of experience. So I think just in.
Yeah, there's like fundamentals to the resume, right?
But again, it all boils down to the person looking at it, what they like.
True.
That's the big thing. That's what I go to these, and talk to these young job seekers. I'm like, just because I like it this way doesn't mean everybody else is going to like it this way. But I think if you just stick with a standard and a format that you're comfortable with, that's what you should do.